It's Magic 95.9, Baltimore's best variety of R&B, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Your new midday host, Steph Lover. I'm here, and what do you know? Got a special guest, good friend of mine. He has a legacy in the Baltimore area. If you missed Unsung last night, he was on there with some of his bandmates. Drew Hill's very own Nokio in the building. Can we give him some love, Baltimore?
What up?
Spread love is the B-more way. What's up, fam?
Oh, man, we having a family reunion right now.
Now, let me tell y'all, I met Nok and the whole gang back in the 90s, I believe, when you were originally called Legacy. That's why I brought that up.
You met us before the famous.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You met us when we was just walking in wherever and singing as loud as we could.
Walking in a straight line.
That's right, walking in militant.
Very militant mindset.
We was with the fruit back then, you know, there wasn't no plan. We was Fruit of Islam, boy. You going lock and step.
Yes, it was very serious back then, but he took y'all to the next level, which was amazing. Put Baltimore on the map in a very big way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, that was the whole thing from the beginning. You know, when we had a few names that came up once we got the deal, but you know, I was on the phone with Hawk one day, and he said, "What's the name of that park in Baltimore?"
Hawk Islam.
Yeah, and I was like, Drew Hill Park, but nobody calls it Drew Hill Park. Drew Hill Park, we call it Drew Hill Park. Oh, that's the name of the group. Ding. All right,
wait a minute. So you guys came up with the name after you got the deal?
Yeah, I came up with the name after. No, because like we went up there, I think, as Legacy or the Storm or whatever the name was right there.
I remember Legacy.
And you know, the guys at the record company were, you know, figuring we needed another name. So shout out to my man Butt Nigga Tim Dog. Right,
that's a real '90s name.
You know what I'm saying? You look all over Uptown Records. You know, if you got old records, Butt Nigga Tim Dog is all over it. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, everything. So he wanted us to be called the Together Brothers, and obviously that was not going to work. So you know, like then came Drew Hill. So,
TBB.
Yeah, you know, the pictures, you know, you just see like the theme to the Wayans Brothers show and stuff, you know, like, and us like dancing around like it.
So your Unsung just came on last night.
Yeah.
It was the premiere, their new episode, their new season.
Yeah.
And you guys were at the top of the food chain. What did you think of the depiction of you guys?
Well, you know, I want to start by saying shout out to Talisha and Rochelle and, you know, everybody on the team to help bring that together. And shout out to brother Marcus that, you know, shot it and produced the show. I mean, I think it was good. I think that it left people wanting to know more. And I say it like this. From the time that, like, Talisha, you know, who did our PR for the last few years, came in and we were talking about writing a book. And I was like, the one thing that I don't want to do is I'm not going to dispute anybody's story that's being told in order for them to feel like they can be perceived a certain way. So
I'm feeling like you had some issues with it.
No, I mean, I just...
But wait a minute. We're going to get into that in a second. Hold on. We got Nokio here from Drew Hill. If you didn't see that Unsung last night, then you need to check it out.
Inbox me. I'll send it to you. No,
yeah. We got more with Nokio right here on Magic 95.9. Stay close. You know, Baltimore's a bounce town, but when Drew Hill came out, wow. Yeah, it became an R&B town.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because, you know, for us to already, you know, between, you know, we spent a lot of time in D.C. and Virginia, so to already kind of like have a name and then be driving down the street and you hear your song on the radio. Like when somebody told you, you know, like you go in and it's like, well, if y'all sing this song today, you have a song on the radio in 30 days. And then 30 days later, I'm driving out by Orange Mills with my old girl and we going around the turn. And I'm like ready to have a heart attack. Like, oh my God, we on the radio. You know what I'm saying? But that lasted about 6 months. Then
you're like, where's the check, right?
Some bowls.
So let's go back a little bit because my boss Kels, he said, let's talk about the fudgery a little bit. They always kind of gloss over that, and they did in the Unsung. The beginning, how did you guys come together? You guys all worked together and then decided to start singing together?
Nah, see, it would be, all right, so... here's a story for people who don't know, because it's like a lot of confusion sometimes. I was going to City College, and Woody was singing with some guys, and they would get together after school.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom had worked it out for me to meet somebody that wanted to work with me as a solo artist, and they wanted me to move to Philly and go to school up there, whatever it is. So my man Bravette, and he was like my best friend, and I'm like, look, tell him what's going on. He was like, hey, it's these guys that sing. So I was like, cool, I'll check them out, and maybe if they good, I can hook them up with the same person that I'm working with. And long story short,
so you wasn't trying to be in a group. Just
not
at
the time. Yeah,
right.
it was like, but like I just like the, it sounded good for where we were then, and like they were like all my boys. But from day one, I started kicking people out the group. It was
so
like
wait a
7
minute.
people.
It wasn't you, Cisco, Jazz, and Woody at first.
No, it was me and Woody and Bravette and Chris and Mike and Glenn and Uriah.
Well, y'all had a Kanye orchestra, huh?
Look, we had Sunday service. So it was like, all right, there's too many people, and I'm known as a shrewd businessman.
You the Mike Bivens of the group.
I'm the one that's gonna kick you out the group every time. So,
right.
and I don't care, because at the end of the day, since I was 14 years old, it's boys is boys and business is business. And if we can't take care of the business first, we can't be boys. So that's just where it is. Like, I don't have, and I mean, it's hard because I know for a lot of people, like especially people who don't know me, it's like, man, that man ain't got no emotions. Do he smile? Like, I just started posting pictures all the time of me smiling so people can see that, like, I enjoy smiling now. I had to practice it for about
smiling
a year.
On the inside,
yeah,
like Karate Man.
Yeah,
it's that
like,
kind of thing.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because everything is not a joke, especially in this business. It's music, but it's people's lives that they're playing with.
See, that's the thing that people don't understand, man. It's like, it's all fun and games watching it on TV or, listening to the songs. But in real life, it's like people out here who want to be in positions and, whatever it is that you want to call it, and they're not equipped to do it. So then, maybe it's cool when you're young because you just want to be out here and you're traveling all
cool
over the place.
It's not cool in your 40s.
No, it ain't cool in your 40s. It's like, yo, I'm going to smack you, yo. And not on like, I'm not an aggressor or nothing like that, but as two grown men, in certain situations, it's like, yo, if you did that anywhere else, you'd be in the ground. So the only reason why you doing it is because you know me. But you know me, and you forgot that. So if you took a second to remember who I am for real, you probably wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
From Baltimore, all right?
Yeah, North Avenue, Utah Gardens.
Tell me what part they got wrong in Unsung.
Well,
you might have a little bit of issues with.
No, I mean, look, Hiram acting like he ain't know what happened. I mean, that's cool.
Hiram Hicks.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the thing is, and I don't, like, I want you to understand, I'm not saying any of this maliciously, because everybody, like, we've seen Hiram since everything went down, and it's not weird. It's not, oh, you stole my life. It's like, yo, you know what? You're the consummate businessman.
Y'all had an altercation at your platinum party.
Yeah.
Correct? At your platinum party.
Yeah, well, it was that morning.
I find that hard to fathom.
Right, so it was that morning, right? Well, afternoon, we were doing rehearsal. Yeah, I'm going to give you the short story. We were doing rehearsal, and Hiram comes in with his brother, and Kevin is there, my man Al, my man Keith Ingram, and the band and us. So we get to talking about the Never Make a Promise video. And, Hiram's basically telling us about, this idea that he had, which, ended up being the video that you guys
saw. It's the height of Drew Hill,
so,
too.
Next thing you know, it's like somebody felt disrespected. It was like, hey, you need to, hey, man, get him. Hey, man, get him.
Who threw the first punch?
And then, I ain't a snitch. So, like, do all that. You know what I'm saying? We go, once again, I'm from Baltimore. Yeah, that's a problem.
So
now.
we know
Half the reason why I ain't on the road is because I'm going to be on the road with nobody that's going to snitch. So we going to skip past it. But let's just say that, it was bad. It ended in, a gun being pulled on somebody.
Ooh.
And it was like we did not get in the music business for this. And
did it affect y'all career moving forward from that point?
Nope, because we were so hot, honestly, that we were on the road on tour, doing radio, everything. And literally, and I love Martha. Shout out to Martha, you know, from Island Black Music back in the day. It's like my other mom. And, you know, I remember, I think we were in the Bahamas somewhere or something. And she showed up, and we loved Martha. And she was standing out in front of the hotel, and we just had to be like, Martha, we can't talk to you. And it's not personal, like, we love you, but, you know, we were in the middle of a lawsuit and everything, and they thought that they were going to be able to shut us down.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was just like, man, you know, the power of feelings and human emotion, you know, you can't put any words to it. So, you know, we connected with people because our fan base, really, in the beginning, were people that couldn't even afford to buy our records. Like, we literally, I used to go into the record store and there'd be a bunch of kids, and I'd buy all the singles and give them to people. So, you know, it's like we connected with people in a different way. And I think for a lot of reasons, you know, the emotion that we brought, we came in right. You know, it's funny, if you go back and look at the Eddie soundtrack, Jodeci's last single was on the same album as our first single.
Wow.
So, you know, we came in at a good time, you know, where people, you know, they needed that. And, you know, I don't regret anything that happened. You know, I got new hostilities. I don't have any old ones, you know, because at the end of the day, I got a chance to learn the business. And some of this stuff is just what it is. And it's like, if you don't want it to be that way, get a good lawyer. Stop getting managers before you got something to manage and figure out this business. Because once you in the contract, just like somebody decided to tell me when we was having a personal conversation, oh, but I got a contract. Oh, you did? Well, I got a house. I'll be there.
More with Nokio coming up right here. Got to give you your props. I want to give you your flowers now.
Yeah,
you know, they always say you get them when you can't smell them. I want to give them to you now. What is your status right now? The Unsung came out yesterday, somewhat enlightening. But what is your status with Drew Hill right now? Are you in the group, a part of the group? Where are you?
Right now, I'm home. And just like I told Cisco and Kevin, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm like, I'll probably retire. But I'm not sure. So, you know, it's just a thing where it's like, don't pressure me to give you an answer right now. Just like, let me go home and, you know, build my family and kind of get out of the mindset that I've been in for the past almost 30 years and, you know, kind of reset. And, you know, I don't really make emotional decisions and I'm not a reactionary person. But you know, it's like... Was there a breaking point? Is there a breaking point that happened that you got this epiphany that you might need to sit down for a minute? No, I mean, well, you know, it's... If you let anybody else tell the story, they want to point to something that ain't even really a thing that just happened. But the reality is that it's been a problem since the 90s. You know, it's like in 99... I mean, at the end of the day, like, I was the last person to leave in 99. After everybody, you know... Yeah, because this is like the third generation of Drew Hill right now, yeah. Like, after everybody, you know, left management and, you know, Cisco went to do his thing, like, I was the last person rolling. And it just came to a